All right, so brake lines. Let me show you what I've done so far, which is what I did yesterday, and then what I'm trying to do now. So, master cylinder, you gotta bring the line so, you know, the distribution block and the stock lines that it connects to the brake master cylinder make it so that the distribution block is directly below the master cylinder. But for this application, as you can see, there's a crossbar here. That's not going to work. So these lines that connect it, not going to work. Now they give you all these fittings to adapt the brake lines that they give you. The only thing is they don't give you, well, what I don't think are short enough. The shortest line they give you is a 20-inch line. So I don't think 20-inch, unless you want to like make loopy, you know, all kinds of stuff. I went and bought these at a local automotive shop that are, I believe they're 8-inch lines, if I'm not mistaken. I bought two sizes, one really short one, which is this one here, which is like a, I don't know, maybe that's a 4 or 6-inch line, and then these two 8-inch lines. So I got some, and you can see how I might even redo this one here, but just to get it down, you can see the connection here. You have to use the fitting because this is a little bit bigger of a fitting than the actual 3/16 inch line, which is what these are, 3/16. So you kind of have to adapt it to these. And then it looks like the rear fitting part is the actual 3/16. So you have to, you know, go. I really like the way this line came out, so that's why I might do this one to kind of match that one. So I might just loop it down and then bring it up. I'd ordered another couple of these on Summit, but they didn't come in time, so I might redo that. Also might redo this one and make it kind of make it instead of having the loop out this way, I might make it come down and up and in. So I'm kind of playing around with a couple of different little things, but anyway, just to get these connected. Now I also thought that my brake line for the front brakes was going to be too short, which it is not. If you connect it like this, it's long enough, because this suspension is at full droop, so it should be long enough. And then I just need to get the clips that allow you to hold that in place. Now the part I am kind of struggling with is connecting. Once you get the hard lines to the T here, which they give you to go into that for the front brake calipers, I'm having a hard time getting this line done, which is what I'm working on right now. I also found here, there's a couple different benders that you can get. And so you have your traditional kind of, I'll show you here. I guess traditional, what is offered is this kind of bender here, this red one, which opens up like this, articulates open, you put it in there. Now this is only good for, as you can see here, 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8. So 3/16 brake lines, that's not gonna work. So I was trying to find another one of these, and I don't really like this style of, it's tricky to use with two hands. It's probably better if you put it in a vise, but so let's see, I'll bring this other one down here. I found this one at AutoZone, this OEM Tools one, which comes with 2 wheels, and each wheel, don't know if you can see it, it's probably really difficult, but each wheel has a different size groove in it, because you only need half of the wheel to bend the line. And I like that one better. It's easier to place it in there and then clamp it and then get the bend out of it, and you get a pretty good amount of leverage with squeezing these 2 handles together. Vice this one, you have to hold one and then turn the other one. Also, you can do 4 different sizes of lines with that. And then to make little adjustments, I found this one at Harbor Freight, because I was looking, Harbor Freight listed they had one of these to do 3/16, but I couldn't find it at 3 Harbor Freight stores. So this one here I found. This one's good for making little tweaks to the lines. And so between that, this is I've gone through like 3 different lines to do this one front connection here. So it's kind of a little frustrating. So this is my template right now, and this is what I'm going with. So hopefully the next part of this video, there will be an update and that will be done. So I'm working on it. I got this is my first bend here. I got my other bend marked to make it. So I'm gonna start with this side, immediate 90-degree bend out of here, and then down this tube here. I almost thought about going up the X brace here, but I don't know. If this fails, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go this way along this 4-inch tube, use the 4-inch tubes as kind of the clamp point. So yeah, and then I'm gonna work after that and work on running brake lines to the back. So that's it for now. All right, so I got the brake lines run here. Let me give you a little rundown of I got the front finish, and I've had them sent to the rear but not finished in the rear because I'm waiting on my rear flexible line. So here we go. We got brake match cylinder here. We got the lines coming to the distributor block there, teed off here. Also found the little clips, they're not that expensive, to hold the flexible line into the clip that you put in the chassis. This little clip that you rivet there. It took me a little bit to figure out the fitting for the brake caliper here. So I had them on the wrong side, and so what you'll notice is with this brake line setup, this one has like a 1/4 inch opening, and this one has a 3/16. So you have to adapt this one to 3/16 to fit the T there, which I think I'm gonna see if I can get an actual, T that isn't pointing this way. I want it to point the other way, and then I'm gonna redo this line. But for now, that's how it is. Yeah, so it took me a little bit. I figured out I had them on the wrong side, so I swapped them around, put this one here. Then this would now work. Now this little short flat part here has to go up against. That's the only way that will fit to put the banjo bolt in. Took me a little bit to make this line here, but little tip, the 3/16 line, you can start your bends pretty easily by hand. So I was marking them, and then I take them off, and I was trying to match it, and so what I started to do is just start to make the bend, and then if I need a really sharp bend, I'll use the bender. If I need a long bend, like these bends here, I can do that by hand, or use like a cylinder. Like this is a empty propane cylinder, like a camping stove cylinder, and then you can bend it around that. But start it by hand, and it'll be much easier to form that. Then, okay, so that's pretty much this section here. Got it all tucked away, making sure that it doesn't touch any of the metal, and that it's in the clamps. Then what you do is you start with the rear. So rear's here, comes out, sharp 90, runs along the, I think that's 3/4 inch square tube there, down here, using a clamp here, going around, obviously the steering gear there, down here, and then under. I don't know if you can see, but goes down. You have to use, because that's a 60-inch line, you have to use 2 60-inch lines to bring it to the back, and they give you this little junction fitting. So I've got that in there, and then I ran it down. There's like a little opening here in the frame where the lower control arm pocket is, and I ran it up here. Now this I'm just leaving loose for now because I have to figure out the rear. This will go to flex line. I believe the ones, I want to see the ones that I got. The picture is not accurate on Late Model Restoration Supply, but it has a little T that you bring it into. So, and I believe this is how it is stocked. This caliper, you essentially bring the fluid to this caliper and then it splits off and you run it to the other side for the right caliper. That's how I believe it is. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Might run another hard line to that caliper. We'll see when I get it all set. But that's why I'm leaving this here for now, because I might try some different, we'll see how it goes. So that's it. Next steps are electrical. So you'll see here that, you know, the end of the manual finishes you off with banjo bolt torque specs. Obviously gonna hold off on that until I get everything settled, that way I don't miss anything. Then I'll do my lead check, figure out if everything's going good, if everything works right. I got good pedal feel for now. Not gonna put a proportioning valve in it as of right now. That will be maybe an update I do later. We will see. I wanna feel how it feels as it is. Because essentially, the way that it should work is like a 96 Mustang GT brake system with bigger brakes and no ABS. So we'll see, because the 96 that I got this from had a single piston front caliper. So I'm gonna start with this as my baseline and then see which direction I might have to go. We'll see, I don't know. The next is electrical wiring. So they have you start with, so I have the Ron Francis wiring kit, which is what I'm gonna start with. So I have saved all of my stock wiring to tie into like the fuel injection for the engine, because it says here it can also be used in combination with the Mustang engine harness if running fuel injection. So I might use the Mustang engine. I'm going to use the Mustang engine harness to tie into the Ron Francis harness. But you start with the inertia switch. So the inertia switch will come back here to this area, and which I'm going to put. You put the aluminum panel down so that you can start doing the rear aluminum here. So yeah, essentially, I mean, let's give you a little you know, complete walk around here. This is it's a rolling chassis at this point. I mean, you could, once the brake lines are fully plumbed and, you know, technically it'll stop because it's got the pedals and everything in it. I got the fuel tank installed, fuel lines. But yeah, that's it. You know, this is where we stand. Steering, I still gotta do some messing around with. I think I'm going to try to invert the tie rod and see if that works. And the reason being is because if I do a bump scare kit, I have to drill those out anyway. So I might try to drill them. It won't have the taper anymore if I drill it, but I'm gonna see, just for initial steering. If I can get the tie rod not to torque down with no taper, then I'm just gonna leave it for now. But we'll see, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's moving along pretty good. And then, you know, in the manual, after electrical wiring, you are doing driveline preparation. So I imagine this is everything to get it to the point to put the engine and transmission in. I still need to get my drive shaft shortened, which I have a shop nearby that I'm gonna see if they'll do it. So yeah, there's still that. But yeah, this is it for now. It's come a pretty good long way. I'm pretty happy with it. Could move a little faster, but parts sometimes, parts are the tricky part. Parts, you know, no pun intended, parts are the trickiest part of the whole deal. Trying to get them to fit, trying to figure out if you have the right stuff, trying to figure out what you need if you don't have it. Not trying to waste time and money on parts that aren't gonna work. So if you take a little bit of extra time to do that stuff, it pays off in the long run. So there you go. Yeah, cool. And next time should be a video on electrical wiring and all my trials and tribulations with that.